Let me know when y'all ready. Get a thumbs up. All right. First of all, let me thank you for your patience. We've got a murder trial from 4 years ago that we're involved in right now. Thank you for dealing with the sun out there. To the members of the media, I'm joined today with lead detective Maggie Darling from the NOPD, special agent in charge Lionel Murthel, FBI lead agent James Ollinger, FBI homicide unit chief homicide unit from Orleans Parish Matthew Durbis, homicide unit assistant DA Forrest Ladd, homicide unit assistant DA Zachary Creel. Last week was a big week. In a pivotal moment for the families of Jamar Robinson and Byron Jackson, as well as the New Orleans community, a jury returned a unanimous and powerful verdict in the case of Derrick Groves. Now, Groves was found guilty on all counts, 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. The conviction stems from the tragic events of a Mardi Gras day in 2018, when what should have been a celebration with children running around in the yard and a dutiful mother preparing a bunch of good food and a couple of uncles on the barbecue grill turned into a tragic day of unimaginable loss for 2 families. The shootings claimed the lives of Jamar and Byron while leaving 2 other victims scarred, and several others who were present for that entire event scarred emotionally for the rest of their lives. I'd like for you to imagine for a moment being a kid out in a family's yard on Mardi Gras Day and having it end early because of a barrage of AK-47 shots being fired at the people you love the most. For these families, this verdict represents a long-awaited culmination of a very painful 6-year legal journey. The weight of their grief has been immense and a constant companion through every hearing daily, every delay, every setback. And while no court decision can bring back their loved ones or fully heal their wounds, this verdict provides a measure of justice and a hope for some peace for moving forward. This case garnered widespread attention not only because of the horrific nature of firing indiscriminately at a group of women and children, but also due to the significant legal challenges that were presented in Louisiana regarding non-unanimous jury verdicts. Initially, Groves had been convicted alongside his co-defendant Kendall Barnes. However, with the passage of the new law requiring unanimous jury verdicts, that case was undone. And as everyone knows, in the criminal legal system, it is very tough to try a case more than once. And this case had to be tried a few times. I sat with Forrest and Zach in the first trials, which resulted in mistrials. In one instance, because of a legal issue that had to be resolved by the court. Another issue because a juror went online and read you all's media reports on the story as they were instructed not to. That being said, through no control of these victims' families, these cases had to be stopped and recharged and restarted again. That retrial was an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to fairness, number 1, and to accountability, number 2. Our prosecution team put together a meticulous case that not only met the new legal standards, but ensured that every juror unanimously agreed on the facts. We wanted a verdict that would truly withstand the test of time. The evidence presented against Groves was overwhelming. The prosecution, led by Forrest Ladd and Zach Creel, laid out a very compelling case. 3 eyewitnesses courageously testifying in the face of a lot of coercion and duress. They identified Groves and his co-defendant as the gunman. Cell phone records further dismantled Groves' alibi, placing him at the scene of the crime, and ballistic testing confirmed the use of his AK-47s during the attack. that ended that Mardi Gras Day celebration. The important part of how this all occurred was not just the talented work of Zach and Forrest, but it began with the tight partnerships and collaboration and attention to detail that was taken by the FBI and the NOPD. They built a strong case from beginning to end. That case was presented to a jury that did not come back with a unanimous verdict. They kept digging, they kept investigating, they kept providing more information for my lawyers to go into court and deliver this verdict for these families. So at this point in time, I'd like to turn it over to FBI Zach Myrtle so you can hear from him, because I really do believe that 2024, 2025, and beyond, this will be the decade of collaboration and partnership that takes ego out of the criminal legal system and puts partnership and smart policing and prosecuting back into the system. Special Agent.
Good morning. As District Attorney Williams mentioned, my name is Lionel Myrtle. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI New Orleans Field Office. The FBI is proud to stand here today with our partners in the Orleans Parish DA's office and New Orleans Police Department. The days of Derrick Groves bullying and brutalizing this community are over. The message in this case should be crystal clear to those who choose violence in this city. We will not stop until we do everything in our power to see that justice is served. Unfortunately, the type of violence that we saw in this case happens far too often. So often, in fact, that it's easy and sometimes understandable that the community becomes numb to the impact of death. Groves routinely used violence to lash out and silence witnesses or snitches. There was no doubt in the minds of anyone who touched this case that Groves would continue his bloody rampage on the streets of New Orleans if he weren't stopped. We hope this guilty verdict and the life sentence that goes with it will serve to give the community confidence and hope again in law enforcement. I want to commend FBI Special Agent James Ollinger, as well as the agents, task force officers, and intel personnel from the New Orleans Violent Crimes Task Force and Gang Task Force, who work tirelessly alongside our federal partners, the ATF and DEA. Interagency task forces, such as the Violent Crimes Task Force and Gang Task Force, are key to solving cases just like this one. The FBI has hundreds of these task forces across the country, and we have several across the state. These partnerships can make the difference and are making a difference in New Orleans and the rest of Louisiana. On behalf of FBI New Orleans, I once again would like to thank the DA's office, NOPD, ATF, DEA, and everyone who had a hand in making sure justice will be done in this case. Thank you.
Special Agent, thank you, and thank you to a dedicated team that continued to investigate this case even long after the first trial had been done. And thank you for the evidence that you all collected. They collected everything from social media threats and bragging, which this man on my right with my haircut, Forrest Ladd, wonderfully used in court to paint a picture for this jury so they could understand who knew who had a grudge with who, and where they exactly were come Mardi Gras Day. It was actually Forrest's hard work and long hours pouring through images after images and after image on social media that was the impetus for the OSINT task force that is headed up right now by former police chief Michelle Woodford and our internal project director Holly Freeman. We've used the model that Forrest spent his nights and weekends on putting this case together, using social media to paint this picture as a protocol for this office moving forward with other cases. And I'd like you to hear from the person who gave up his nights and weekends to make this case result in this verdict. Forrest Ladd. Thank you, Forrest.
Thank you again to DA Williams, to the NOPD, the FBI, the families, the witnesses who were all a part of making this day happen. This has been a long journey for that family, those families, and this is a great day for the city of New Orleans. Derrick Groves is a heinous criminal who ran terror down in the lower Ninth Ward for well over a decade, and that reign of terror has been ended. In fact, today, Derrick Groves pled to 2 more murder cases. That would be the death of Tyrone Smith and Woodrow Smith. So this is a great day for the city of New Orleans and a great day for this office. Thank you.
As Forrest said to you, Groves and his cohorts were well known in the lower Ninth Ward community, and there's been an outpouring from that community with each of the trials, and there was an outpouring of gratitude and relief after this conviction. I can't thank all the folks who played a role, any role, in bringing justice for these 2 men who lost their lives and these victims who were wounded. Maggie, thank you so much for being dedicated and tied to this case. Our partners, the NOPD, our partners with the FBI and the ATF. This is a group lift to make this place safe, but the numbers are showing that we're all working together, and it's working.
Open up for on-topic questions. Ariel,
Obviously, Mardi Gras is a time where locals as well as tourists come to have a good time, but it is a safety component that a lot of people don't take into consideration. How important was it just to bring justice to these families and to send a message out that this is not the time for violence?
You know, it's every case is a message. That's why in some towns they say Forrest Ladd or Jason Williams on behalf of the people or on behalf of the state. Because when you take a life, you impact the entire community. And you know, we talk about Mardi Gras as if it's unique, because it is unique. But what it is us, the city of New Orleans. We gather together regularly in large crowds to celebrate life. You know, and in the next several days, people are going to be celebrating life who go by the name Swifties, right? And then soon after that, we're going to have another Mardi Gras. And we're on the precipice of a Super Bowl. But as you know, we don't need folks to come in from out of town to gather and collect and celebrate. And anybody who thinks they're going to rain bullets on these celebrations needs to know they're going to be held accountable, and the people behind me are going to be working dutifully to find them, to hold them in jail, and to prosecute them. Thank you, Ariel.
Can you clarify for Tyrone Smith and Woodrow Smith, what were those 2 charges that you today?
Yeah, so the charges were he pled to 2 counts of manslaughter and 2 counts of second-degree murder, and he received a 20-year sentence as to all 4 of those counts.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for your patience.